G'day, Pablo. I imagine that one stings pretty bad. What does it feel like a loss, I guess?
Yeah, it feels like we dropped 2 points. Yeah, it was. It's what we always talk about. It's a game of moments. It's not a game of halves. It's a game of moments and making plays when the game calls for it. I thought tonight offensively we did a lot of things that we wanted to do. I don't think we were sharp in front of goal as we needed to be, but I think we created enough chances, to score a couple. And then the game's defined by one defensive play, and that's the unfortunate part of it. And that's what you could say the beauty of this game. And for us tonight, it was it was a gut punch.
The player that was beaten in the air was Eric Holt, who you brought on for Sergio Cordova. You went to 5 in the back last week because you said you were playing 5 in the back anyway. It just made sense. Did you feel the same way this week? Is that the reason?
Yeah. Again, when late in games, when you have a lead, teams are more willing to throw numbers forward. At that point, especially the last 5-10 minutes, that there's nothing to lose. Much like our game against San Jose, away from we're throwing numbers forward. You're going for the goal, and I think one area that especially the last 2 weeks is when you have a lead, how do we regain that momentum? Is it if we're going long, then we're playing for second balls. We got to find ways as a group to get the ball back and dictate the game with the ball. You can't be under for that long and not give up good chances. Again, the goal we conceded on, they had some chances tonight. The goal we conceded on was not a good chance. It was probably the worst chance they had all night, and that's the disappointing part of that.
So for as good as Eric Holt may be with the football at his feet, is it too harsh to suggest that he's not that great in the air, or is that?
I would just say that on that play he wasn't. But again, I think the misnomer about football and having been an undersized center back, you don't have to win the ball. And that's the thing, is put a center back in there because we know crosses are coming. The people most likely to be able to deal with that are center backs. And one of the things that we've gone over, whether it's set pieces, and we've done a really, really good job, is spoiling. It's not winning the ball, it's spoiling the header. All you have to do is bump somebody when they're jumping, and they can't guide it, they can't do anything with it. And I think that's the other difficult part, is that it's something that we talk about quite a bit. And to get beat on that ball, it was a 55 to 60 yard hopeful ball in the box with ample time to be able to deal with it. Again, you don't have to be great in the air. All you have to do is impede and spoil the guy that's going up for it.
It's the second week in a row that in the second half towards the end, you just kind of gotten a barrage of attacks by the other team. Was it something that you expected, I guess, coming after the goal that you guys scored? And what does it feel like in that moment as it's just attack after attack after attack? Yeah,
like I said, I think the onus is on us as a collective to find ways to flip the momentum. We succumb to that momentum too easily and get in a shell. Whether it's a goal kick, we've got to be alert and ready to pick up second balls so that we can dictate the game with the ball and break that spell of momentum. And then you ask them questions. The last couple games, we're playing with fire in that regard, where we're just allowing teams to come through us too easily, and obviously they're breaking down our wide areas and putting dangerous balls in the box. So that's our work. And to be fair, we haven't played with the lead in quite some time until last week, and that's a whole different game. It's a different type of game. When you're behind it, you can keep the ball effortlessly because you're sending numbers forward. Now the other team's feeling it. So games like Dallas, even games like LAFC, where we have a ton of the ball and we're creating good chances because the mindset's different. The game hasn't changed. The mindset changes. So that will be one area of the game that we'll work on this week.
And it almost feels like you guys kind of were able to figure out the opening 15 minutes issue of not conceding early, but now it's like there's the flip side, right, of those final 15 or 20 minutes, right? Does it kind of feel like you're just kind of putting out fires? You solve one fire and then now there's another one in the end?
Yeah, I don't think it's any. It could be in the middle 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Really, it's about being able to deal with momentum, especially when it's against you, and how do you do that? And one of the ways to do that is be better with the ball, and have be a bit more brave with the ball, and you have to be willing to lose it in some difficult spots at times. But when you break that corner, or you combine around somebody pressing, now you start getting everyone to move. So it's a contagion. In football, when you're on the field, when ball's popping around and we're moving the ball, everyone wants to get on the ball. The movement ahead of the ball is fantastic. When it's against you, naturally, as a human being, you're not going to want to move because you're already thinking we're going to lose it. And so it becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. And so for us, again, that'll be one area that we look at.
And then lastly, I was just curious, on the subs that you made there around the 70th minute, what was kind of the thinking there? Looking to get some guys some rest, or what was kind of the thinking there?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been running Chang and Miram pretty much every game, and finding ways to give them better respite from a long haul. You know, I thought Rubio came in and did a really good job. Had some half chances from that left side, but did some dogged work down the flank. Serge was cramping up. And Jasper was cramping up. So those were the reasons behind those changes.
Pablo, buenas noches. Empezaron la temporada muy bien en casa. Empezaron la temporada invictos y eran los últimos 3 partidos, van con 2 derrotas y un empate. ¿Qué se necesita para tratar de regresar a una buena racha en casa?
Sí, yo creo que necesitamos manejar el partido mejor. Los últimos 2 partidos fueron los últimos en no sé cuánto tiempo que hemos llevado el marcador en nuestro favor, y ese es otro tipo de fútbol. Cuando está persiguiendo el marcador es muy fácil jugar con mucha confianza porque está buscando el gol. Ahora necesitamos concentrarnos en cómo manejamos los momentos importantes cuando sigan atacando, y necesitamos un poco de respiro de defender y encontrar los momentos con el balón para ahogar el otro equipo. Y eso para mí es lo más importante para la semana que viene.
Y disculpa, yo sé que ya lo acabas de hablar un poco en inglés, pero también para hablar en español un poco, ¿cómo se siente ese resultado en casa hoy con el gol que llegó al minuto 87?
Sí, todo el grupo nos sentimos muy mal, como perdimos 2 puntos esta noche. Especialmente poner otro central para defender la área y las pelotas que van a entrar, y no lo pudimos hacer esta noche, y por eso nos sentimos muy mal.
Y vamos a terminar, mi última pregunta es para terminar un poco más positivo. Sergio Córdoba lleva 3 goles en 3 partidos. ¿Cómo nos puede decir un poco de ahorita cómo se siente Córdoba y su confianza, y cómo ves usted a Córdoba?
Sí, el Sergio viene haciendo un muy buen trabajo, especialmente en la cancha de entreno. Los últimos 3 semanas se ha quedado después del entrenamiento trabajando en la definición, y ahora estamos viendo todo el progreso que ha hecho como un 9, y es un jugador clave para este equipo en este momento. Así hay que seguir para adelante, y yo creo que el Sergio va a ser un goleador y un jugador muy importante para este equipo.
Gracias, Pablo.
¿Cómo no?
Pablo, buenas noches. ¿Sientes que te tomaron la medida en casa porque hay resultados que en casa no se están dando como debería de ser? Porque sacamos la cuenta, muchos puntos que se están perdiendo ya en casa, que son los más importantes.
No, yo creo que el fútbol se juega así. Cuando estás buscando un gol, mandar jugadores para adelante y tomar el riesgo que te hacen el segundo. Y sabemos que no pasó con nosotros. Cuando estábamos perdiendo, mandamos todo para adelante para encontrar el gol de empate. Y para mí fue un momento clave que no lo manejamos bien.
Hablando de jugadores personales, Justin Meron es un jugador importante que tiene mucha posesión de balón en los pies, pero a veces se engolosina demasiado y pierdes una oportunidad. Hubo un momento en que él debía soltar la pelota y tú sabes que en el área chica el balón en los pies de un jugador no debe demorar mucho y él se demoró demasiado y ahí pudo haber sido una buena oportunidad. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? A veces él tiene momentos en que sí suelta el balón rápido y hace muy bien, pero en algunas veces cuando se demora es probablemente cuando más se le necesita que suelte rápido el balón.
No, es una cosa que venimos hablando con el Justin. Yo creo que, mira, cuando iniciamos el torneo, tuvo mucho éxito porque los equipos, claro, no están esperando que el Justin está jugando los minutos que está jugando y también los movimientos que hace siempre son con el balón. Cosas que estamos trabajando son movimientos sin el balón. Y yo creo que, porque siempre van 2, 3 jugadores a marcar a Justin, siempre va a haber un jugador libre, especialmente en la área. Y yo creo que hizo una buena jugada esta noche con el Saba, que le bloquearon el tiro. Pero esos son momentos, como decimos, en esa área chica no hay que demorar porque después la defensa se arma, se acomodan y el fútbol es muy difícil cuando se juega de frente del arco. Así, esas son cosas que venimos hablando, pero yo sé como jugador, el entrenamiento es mucho más difícil, o más fácil para hacer las cosas de una manera cuando hay presión, el marcador y momentos de desesperación, a veces se demora con el balón.
Último, tú como defensor sabes que un error es fatal y los errores defensivos nos han llevado a perder, a empatar. Ahora, en última instancia, mandas un defensor y viene el gol. Explícanos el tratar de renunciar al ataque en los últimos minutos y defender.
Sí, como dije antes, que cuando un equipo está buscando el gol del empate, siempre van a mandar jugadores para adelante. Y hay 2 formas para defender los jugadores que vienen para adelante. O lo marcar 1 por 1, o encontrar los momentos en esa situación donde con el balón controlas el juego. La decisión para poner un central, pensé que iban a meter pelota de 50 metros, 60 metros en la área. Y si lo van a meter, lo tenemos que defender. Y son 2 cosas. Si no podemos aguantar el balón cuando tenemos posición para quebrar ¿cómo se dice? Para terminar el partido 1-0. Y no defender cuando meten en el centro, se hace muy muy difícil para sacar el resultado. Y para mí eso fue lo más difícil, porque pusimos un central para defender ese momento clave. Ese momento, si lo defendemos, salimos acá con 3 puntos, pero ese momento nos costó 2 puntos.
Gracias.
Pablo, sorry, just one more from me. Consecutive games now, a player in a midfield position has threaded a perfectly weighted through ball onto the running leg of Sergio Cordova, who's now scored 3 goals in 3 games. Can you touch on just how difficult that ball is to play and then the improved finishing from Sergio over recent time?
Yeah, I think it's been a long slog getting Sergio to play like a 9. I think he's got tendencies of wanting to come back to the ball. And with his pace and his power, it's been almost convincing him that he's faster and stronger than he thinks he is. And he's worked extremely hard. He's spent the last 4 weeks staying after and just working on his finishing. And it's no secret, but a lot of times players think it's just going to happen. And I think this is a really good example of some guy really honing his craft and putting in the extra time. And he can't wait for the training to end so that he can work on what is going to bring a lot of success to both him and this group. So Serge has been fantastic. And then, you know, the attacking side of things are areas that we always work on, like everything else. But I think the level of comfort from you know, the two midfielders have been really good in the attack. We talk about the weight of the pass and the angle of the run, and tonight you saw it. Last weekend you saw it with Sava. Some really good actions from Serge and some really good balls played in from deeper positions.
Perfect. That's all. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you.